Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeff Rains coming to you again with Foundation of Civilization. I wanted to address an issue that has been coming up recently, especially in the news. A lot of arguments that have been going on about it. It's a problem that has started occurring with the illegal immigrant gangs. There, I just find it hilarious the way that how divided we are over this whole issue today. In Aurora, Colorado, there was a takeover by one of these gangs called Tren de Aragua. There's video showing the gang members carrying assault style weapons in the complex, threatening the residents. And it's been noted that the residents have been told to be paying them rent, not to the owner of the building. And I find it absolutely amazing that while many federal agencies want to disarm law abiding citizens, they seem to be very comfortable with gang members carrying these assault weapons. Uh, now, I also find it kind of funny. PolitiFact it's called these claims false. Well, it turns out Trendera Aragua is not only taking over apartment buildings, they're engaged in much more dangerous activities. In fact, the whole reason that they took over the apartment building is because one of um, their biggest money makers is prostituting young girls. I'll address that a little more later, but with a lot of the residents had noted that there was a lot of illegal activity going on at the facility, at the complex, and the police came out and denied that anything serious was going on. But then we turned around and we found that the owner of the building had hired lawyers who filed paperwork citing all of the problems that have been noted. And in the meantime, the sheriff's department, the police department in Aurora arrested four of the gang members. Well, if there if there was no problem, why are they arresting the gang members? If these guys are just peaceful immigrants looking for a better life in America, why arrest them? There's obviously something going on, something very serious going on. Some other activities there was noted it was noted that the Venezuelan gang took over a Target parking lot and just started engaging in chaos. Gunshots were heard. West Texas oil refiners have warned about the growing trend of migrant gangs stealing things from their facilities, from the oil refiners. Some oil, copper. Copper is always a popular thing to steal because you can turn around and resell it on the metals market. Now, for those of you who don't know, Tren de Aragua is a started as a gang in the prisons in Venezuela. They come from the uh, the prison that they were in was in the city of Aragua. Their name essentially means train of Aragua. Uh, the president of Venezuela, Maduro, had a problem with them. They were engaging in gunfights with the police and with the military. So when he saw the opportunity to ship them up to the United States, he was happy to get rid of them. Now they've gone international and they have uh, chapters in Peru and in Colombia, the United States, and I'm sure they've got plenty all over or all up and down the Americas. Uh, Now, TDA leadership. We've discovered that the TDA leadership have greenlit the killing of the United States of U.S. police officers. Um, the U.S. military has warned DoD members and their families that they are dangerous and people need to take precautions. Uh, I mentioned that one of the means of the gang making money is prostituting young girls. Up to about now, although I wouldn't doubt it if they've already started. But up to now, what the gang is doing is kidnapping young girls from Central America, from Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, wherever they come through, Mexico, I'm sure, and they will bring them up to the United States. They'll bring them to the apartment complex, and then they will prostitute these poor young girls. Uh, I don't know why the uh, the Trump administration came under fire because they were separating children from adults. It was discovered that about 10% of the children that were coming across the border were had no family association with the adults that they were traveling with. It's these gangs. It may not just be Tren de Aragua. It may be other gangs that are prostituting them. But it was it was the last opportunity to be able to stop these human traffickers from the sex traffickers from exploiting a child. The Biden administration decided in their grand wisdom that they would end this practice. They had a rapid DNA test that could tell whether the people that were traveling together, whether they were associated with each other or not. For some reason, I still cannot fathom some bureaucrat decided, well, we're just going to stop. Um, now, what I what I'm most concerned about is that at some point these gangs are not going to stop. They're not going to limit themselves to people from Central and South America. They're going to start kidnapping uh, children from the United States. There are a lot of vulnerable groups that are not being protected. Today, we see that they're not being protected. And I've actually seen a couple of videos, and I had a friend of mine on Facebook who explained a situation where they felt like their children were targeted. Fortunately, they were not. Nothing happened, but my friend on Facebook was very upset. You, People, you've got to protect your family. You got to protect your children. You got to watch out all the time. When I was young, I was a latchkey child. I was able to go to school, and when my parents divorced, I was able to walk a few miles to school and walk home, and luckily nothing happened to me. Today, no. You know, if my son tells me that my granddaughter is going to school and she's just gonna get herself there and get herself back, I'll be like, I'm coming. I'm moving and we're going to figure out something so that she does not have to do that because I don't trust the situation that we're in today. I don't trust the people of the United States as I don't think that we're the same as we were before, and I certainly don't I don't know the immigrants that are coming across the border. Nobody's checking them. Uh, And let me also forewarn you, don't get me wrong, I'd be happy to have plenty of immigrants. I'd probably a lot more than we allow in today. But I want to know why they're here. And I want to know what kind of associations they have. They got gang tattoos, send them right back. We don't need them. They've got questionable ties to well, who knows what group? Nope. No, we do not need them at all. Send them right back home. Despite the abundance of evidence and the seriousness of the situation, our government and the mainstream media does not seem to care. They're happy that children are being exploited. Uh, they're not. None of them are taking any serious action. our government or law enforcement is not doing anything to enforce laws and protect our children, and our mainstream media is not doing anything to warn us, which it boggles my mind that I have to come on here and try to warn people that we're in trouble. I'm I I've got to get ready to go to work here in a couple hours. It's just stunning. I got to keep my regular job and still come on here and let people know what's really happening in the world. Uh, in fact, the only action that I've seen out of our government actually helps the gangs. I don't know. I can't tell who the government works for. Actually, I can't say who it seems the government works for. The only politician that seems to be taking any kind of action that is helpful, Governor Abbott of Texas, has declared the Tren de Aragua as he's declared them a terrorist organization. Thank goodness somebody's doing something. The DOJ has a $37 billion budget. I believe the FBI has about 11, almost $12 billion of that budget sitting around doing nothing. The DOJ actually has access to a lot more money if they need it. They could spend up to $60 billion. I'm curious, when do they plan to take action? When do they plan to do something? More importantly, for us, as I keep trying to warn people, it's up to us. Our government is not protecting us. They're not protecting us from the economic problems. They're not protecting us from foreign problems. They're not protecting us from internal problems. And they're not verifying the immigrants, where they're from and what they're doing. It's up to us to get together, wake up, talk to one another, and choose representatives that reflect our values, the values that have made the United States great, the values that allow us to take care of ourselves, to protect ourselves when needed. Unfortunately, right now it seems we're going to have to protect ourselves from our government. They're stealing our tax money, and they're not protecting us. When do we plan to take action? What are we doing? As I keep producing these videos, I keep warning everybody that changes are coming in the world. We are seeing them. They are being reflected in our neighborhoods. I know plenty of immigrants in my neighborhood. Luckily, I haven't seen too many of them causing any kind of problems. But when I do, let me assure you, I'm going to go start talking to the police and say, hey, what do we need to do? What do you need from us to make sure you do your job? And if they have a problem doing their job, then it'll be time to replace the sheriff. And I will go full bore in making sure that he's replaced if he's not taking care of the citizens. Um, but it's up to us. We got to get up. We got to make our voices heard. And I hope that you guys are doing that. I also hope that you guys are preparing for the challenges and the problems that are unfolding before us right now. Again, this is Jeff Rains coming to you with Foundation of Civilization. And much love. And I hope you're prepared for what's happening in the world before us. Thank you very much. Please like and share and let your friends know. More importantly, warn your friends. Thanks again. Have a good time. Get ready.